Ahoy, me mates! My name is Elle, and this is my little cousin, and we're with Directional Learning. And today we're going to be talking about letters. Well, do you see us holding this apple on the stick? We want to tell you the story of the apple on the stick. Do you see this apple on the stick? It's heading on over towards the Capitol L building and towards where the one lefty dragon lives. Well, our apple on the stick used to look like this. But then a cat came by. See the cat with his tongue sticking out? He's chasing that apple. And guess what he did to our apple on the stick? He broke the stick. And when he broke the stick, our apple looked like this. Do you see our apple? It has a short stick now. So the cat came by and he broke the stick. And now he's chasing that apple. Do you see his tongue sticking out? And do you notice the cat's tongue is sticking out like the one lefty dragon? So you'll notice all our animals that live over here in this column will be sticking their tongue out. That's right. Our letters are going to live in these directional columns. Oh no, here comes that digging dog and he has his tongue sticking out. And he's after that cat. And he's after the apple. Notice his tongue is sticking out like the one lefty dragon. So, our letters that stick their tongue out, guess what? They live by the one lefty dragon. And just remember, they're chasing the apple. And do you see the cat's bump here? We have to pretend that's his tongue. Same thing with the digging dog. That's his tongue. So, we have to use our imagination. And our next letter is our bouncy bed. Do you see our bouncy bed? It has a road, so it just follows the road, and it lives on the 3 side or by the red reptile tree. Do you see? This is our bouncy bed, and it has a road. So, do you see? It kind of looks like my bed. See? So we call this the bouncy bed. So it lives on the 3 side. Now, look at the palace. Do you see the palace has a road? And it's heading to live by the red reptile tree. So, this is our palace. And look at our king. Our king has a road. And see the king's crown and the leg? It points towards the red reptile tree or the 3 side. So it lives by the red reptile tree. Just follow the road. Show you a letter that just lives in the middle. Here it comes. It's our tall building with city lights. Notice it's a tall building with city lights. Notice there's no bumps pointing towards the left or the right. So guess what? It gets to dance in the middle with the mountain monsters. So this letter with no bumps just lives in the middle. Our next letter is our Indian elephant. And notice how he's painted. In India, they paint their Indian elephants. He has a trunk, and notice this. This is his eyes, or his eyeball looking at you. He has one eye. And notice his trunk is kind of like the tall building. It just has no bumps, but he has a bump up here. So the bump points towards the left and the right. So where do we put it? We put it in the middle. So he gets to dance with the mountain monsters in the middle. Our next letter, this letter has lines all over the place. And here it is. So this letter it's a 7 o'clock and it has a bed. Notice this line kind of goes towards the left and this line kind of goes towards the right. So when we have letters that go all over the place, they just get to dance in the middle. So it lives in the middle. So you just learned that we have letters that stick their tongue out like the one lefty dragon and they'll be chasing the apple. And you learn that their bumps will be pointing towards the one lefty dragon. So we call those tongue letters. And you learn that we have letters that just dance in the middle with the mountain monsters. We call them middle letters. These are middle letters. And you learn that we have letters that have roads. And we call them road letters because they have a road. They live by the red reptile tree. And they live in the right by the number 3. So now we're going to go learn even more about our letters. But before we do that, see this apple on the stick? Apple on the sticks are so good. So cousin, I think it's time that we take a little break and have our apple on the stick before we show them how to play the game. Yo ho ho, a pirate's diet for we. That apple on the stick was so good. Now I know why all those animals are chasing that apple. So now we're ready to play the game. So do you see our apple on the stick here? So we're going to show you the picture, then we're going to find the letter down here and we're going to put it in the directional column. And guess what? We're only using our baby sounds or our short sounds. We're not using the letter's name. For instance, this letter, its name is the A. So we aren't calling it by the letter name A. We're calling it by its baby sound. An easy way to remember the sound is remember that cat came by and he broke my stick and I cried like a baby. Ah, ah, ah. Hear it? Sounds like a baby. Ah, ah, ah. So we're using our baby sounds, or we're using our short sound if you want to call it short sound or baby sound. So you would take the letter, find the letter down here without the picture, and here it is right here. Do you see it? So I'm going to take away the picture now that you know what our apple on a stick looks like, and here it is without the picture. So all you do is you look at the bump. See the bump? Which way is the bump pointing towards? Is this bump pointing towards the capital L building, or is there a bump pointing towards the red reptile tree? You can move it around to see it's actually pointing towards the capital L building. And remember, that's where the apple lives. Its bump points towards the capital L building or the one lefty dragon. Pretty easy. So you put it in the directional column and then you repeat the sound. And remember the baby sound. That cat came by and broke my stick. Cried like a baby. Ah, ah, ah. So that's the sound. Our next sound is remember our bouncy bed. And it has a road. And do you see the lips? Oh, there's lips on here because when you make that sound, ba, 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 can you do it? Your lips come together. So it's just a reminder. And there's two special letters that have lips. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pair of lips over here to remind you that those special letters live here. And it's our bouncy bed. Think about if you were on a bouncy bed and you bounced, your lips would go bouncy, bouncy, and your lips come together. So it has a road, so just follow that road. And let's find our letter without the picture. So can you find it down here? There it is. Do you see it? So let's put it up there. Now all you have to do is look for the bump. So which way is the bump pointing towards? It's pointing towards the red reptile tree. So that's where it lives. And remember the sound, ba. Your lips come together. That's the bouncy bed. Imagine yourself on a bouncy bed and you were bouncing. Your lips would come together, ba. Our next sound is k, k, k. Now, do you see I put two pictures up here? Because both of these letters make the same sound. They both make the k, k sound. I called this one my climbing cat with his tongue stuck out. And he lives by the one lefty dragon. And he's chasing the apple. So he lives in the one. Now this king, do you see this king? This king has a crown and a leg. And do you see the road? His crown and his leg point towards the red reptile tree. So he lives by the red reptile tree. He lives on the right. But because we're going in alphabetical order, did you notice? We're going to call the cat. I'm going to put the king away. So here's our cat. And I already told you that his tongue is sticking out. So can you find his letter at the bottom here? There it is right there. Do you see this is the climbing cat with his tongue sticking out? All you have to do is look for his tongue that's sticking out. So let's put him up here and let's put the climbing cat away, the picture. So now we have to use our imagination. There's his tongue sticking out. So remember, that's the cat and he's after the apple. So it's our climbing cat with his tongue stuck out. Say his sound, k, k. Pretty easy. This game is pretty fun, isn't it? Our next sound is duh, duh for our digging dog with his tongue stuck out. There's our digging dog. That's my digging dog. Do you see him? He's so cute. Do you see his tongue sticking out? He's the digging dog with his tongue stuck out. And guess what? He's after that cat. And he's after the apple. Do you notice he has both letters in him? He has the cat and he has the apple. You know what he looks like. He has the cat and the apple in him. Can you spy him down here? Just look for his tongue sticking out. There he is. Do you see him? So now that you know what his picture looks like, you can find him. See his tongue sticking out? So where does he live? Let's look at him. So see, Meet the Digging Dog without his picture. You just look for his tongue, or you could look for the apple. And his tongue sticks out towards the left, like the one lefty dragon. So he lives over there. And remember, he's chasing that cat. He's chasing that apple. That's the digging dog. Duh, duh, duh. So you can see we have our elephant. He's our favorite. See his trunk? He's the elephant. And you notice his tongue is sticking out towards the left, like the one lefty dragon. His tongue is sticking out. And do you notice his trunk? And remember, this is his trunk, but his trunk can go many ways. So just remember that that's the elephant. So let's see if we can find the elephant down here. Do you see the elephant? Can you spy him? Where is he at? I always look for his trunk. There's his trunk right there. Remember, an elephant can move his trunk around. So that's his trunk. And this is his tongue sticking out. So that's the elephant. So let's move him. So do you notice that his trunk is here? And this is his tongue. So I just remember that elephant hits his trunk on the building, and then he goes after that cat. And then I say a sound. Eh, eh, eh. That's his baby sound. Eh, eh, eh. He cries after he hits his trunk on the building. And then he goes after that cat. So if he has his tongue sticking out, you can guess where he lives. He lives over there. So say his sound. Eh, eh, eh. My next sound is f, f, f. Do you hear that sound? F, f, f. It's a flapping sound. Do you hear it? It's our favorite candy cane. It's our favorite time of year. And our grandpa, he lets us hang our favorite candy cane from the tree during Christmas time. Do you see it has a hook? It has a hook because you can hang it from the tree. So just remember, this letter has a hook. And when it's hanging from the tree, it has a ribbon. Do you see the ribbon? And the ribbon makes the flapping sound as it hangs in the tree. So that's how we remember that sound. And can you spy it down there? Well, all we do is we look for the hook. Do you see the hook on the letter? There it is. So that's what our favorite candy cane looks like. Now that you know what it looks like, now we can put it away. So let's put our favorite candy cane away. So here's our picture, and remember, it hangs from the tree. Okay, so now you see our letter. So now you know where to park it. It lives by the red reptile tree. So there's our sound. The next sound is g, 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 and that's our goat. Do you see our goat with his tongue stuck out? That should give you a hint where he lives. The tongue is sticking out. So he lives by the one lefty dragon. And he has a jolly smile. Do you see that? But his sound is g, g, g. So can you spy him down there? There he is. There's our goat. So the goat has a tongue, and there's his jolly smile. Okay, now you know what he looks like. There he is. G, g, g. And our next one makes the sound. Can you guess what that is? It's our hill. Do you see our hill? How we remember that sound is you run down that tall, tall hill, you bounce back up by the red reptile tree over that hill. You're so tired. Get it? You're so tired after climbing that hill. Do you notice it has a road? So it has a bump. It has a road. So remember, you just follow that road. It lives by the red reptile tree. So can you find it down here? There it is. Do you see the hill? So there it is. There's something else special about this letter here. I want to show you. It has the red reptile tree in it. Do you see the red reptile tree in it? So it points towards the red reptile tree. So now you saw our picture. So put it in the directional column and repeat the sound. Something else I want to show you is our bouncy bed has the red reptile tree in it too. Do you notice that? So the bouncy bed has the red reptile tree because the bouncy bed points towards the red reptile tree. Our next letter sound is I, I, I. Do you see I have a picture of an elephant? And this elephant is from India. They paint their elephants in India. Isn't it beautiful? And do you see that I have the letter here? I. And do you see our Indian elephant? It has the letter in the picture. So this is his trunk and this is his eyeball. So do you see? This is his trunk and this is his eyeball. And this letter is super important. We call this letter the schwa, 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 because when he flies, his wings go schwa, schwa, schwa. And he's a very important letter in the alphabet. We call him the schwa because he controls all the red letters. You'll find out more about him. And he has one blue eye. Do you see that his sound is I? Just think of the Indian elephant. After you ran, you smelled icky. So that Indian elephant took his trunk and sprayed you off. What would you say? Just think icky. If you got sprayed off by his trunk, you would say That's how you remember his sound. And remember, he has one blue eye. Can you find him down here? There he is. There's that Indian elephant. So now that you know what his picture looks like, we'll put him away. So just look to see which way we're going to put him in the directional column. Now, his trunk is just a straight line. But look, he has a bump. And this bump points towards the left and the right. Any letter that has a bump and the bump points both ways, guess what? He gets to live in the middle. So he gets to dance with the mountain monsters. So the Indian elephant lives in the middle. Our next letter sound is J, J, J. And that's our joking joker. Do you see his jolly smile? And his jolly smile goes towards the left. So he's going to live towards the left, even though he doesn't have a tongue. But his jolly smile goes towards the left. So that's where he's going to live. Can you find him? He has a hat on. Do you see his hat? So he has a hat on him. See his hat? This is his hat and this is his jolly smile. So now that you know where he lives, you can put him in that directional column. And his sound is J, J, J. That's his jolly laugh. J, J, J. Our next letter is our king. K, K, K. We already showed you the picture for the king. So let's see if you can find him at the bottom. Do you see him anywhere? There he is. Do you see him? There's our king. So let's move him to the directional column. You already know what his picture looks like, so we'll put him away. He has a crown. Do you notice his crown is lower than his body? And here's his legs. So just follow his road. There we go. K, K, K. Our next letter is L. This letter, this is our tall, tall building with city lights. Get it? Lights. L. And there's no bumps on this letter. So it gets to live in the middle. It gets to dance in the middle. Let's put that away. So can you find it down here? Just look for the tall building. There it is. So can you put him in the directional column? He lives in the middle. He gets to dance in the middle. Okay, our next letter is for mountain monsters. And this is our biggest mountain. We always say biggest mountain wins. So where do you think that lives? Well, it lives in the middle because it has bumps pointing towards the left and the right. So it lives in the middle. But let's find our letter. Can you find your letter at the bottom? There it is. So let's put our picture away. So look at the bumps. It's pointing towards the left and the right. So it lives in the middle. He gets to dance in the middle. Our next sound is And that's the little mountain. Do you see it smaller? And do you see that it has one bump? So it points towards the red reptile tree. See if we can find it down here. I think I see it. Do you see it? There it is. And it kind of looks like the red reptile tree, don't you think? So let's bring it out. Now, I want you to see something special about this letter. It does have the red reptile tree in it. See how it fits in there? So just remember, it points towards the red reptile tree. It has one bump, so it lives by the red reptile tree. And the sound for our little mountain is n. Can you make that sound? N. So now that you saw the picture, we'll put it away. And just remember, the little mountain lives by the red reptile tree. It has the red reptile tree in it. And it has only one bump, so it lives by the red reptile tree. And the sound is n. Okay, our next sound is ah. So this is our picture for ah. Do you notice it's the dentist? So this person here is at the dentist because they hurt their tooth. They thought they bit into an apple, but it was actually a rock. So now they're at the dentist, and the dentist would say open wide, and you say ah. That's how you remember that sound. And it's just a round circle. So just think of a rock. So the sound is ah. Can you find the rock down here? There it is. See the rock? They thought it was an apple, but it turned out to be a rock. So I'll put the picture away. And remember, the dentist sound is ah, and that just lives in the middle because the bumps point everywhere towards the left and the right. So our next sound is p. Now that sound is our palace. Do you see our palace? And the palace has a road. So which way does the palace live? Follow the road. And this letter here is special because when you say the sound p, imagine your lips, and the lips live over here by the red reptile tree. So find the palace. There it is. See the bump in the road? So follow the road. P. Our next letter is qua. Do you notice it's our queen? And our queen has her tongue sticking out. So there's your hint. It should live on by the one-legged dragon. And guess what? She's after that apple. Well, she was after the apple. Notice she has the apple in here. And notice her dancing leg. And she's the queen. Qua. So she lives by the one side because her tongue is sticking out. And let's see if we can find her down here. Did you find her? There she is. See her tongue sticking out, and she has a dancing leg. But follow her tongue. Qua. There she is. So our next letter we're going to learn is ra. And that's our red reptile tree. Notice it has a road. So now you know which way it goes. So see if you can find it down here. Do you see it anywhere? There it is. So just imagine a road. So we'll put that away. And follow the road, and its sound is ra. So it says road, ra. Or you could think dogs love trees. And what do dogs say? They say ruff. So remember the first part of rough, ra. So however you want to remember that sound is ra. Our next sound is s. Do you see? It's Slimy the Snake. S. And let's find Slimy the Snake. There he is down there without his picture. So just remember he's a snake, and his bumps point towards the left and towards the right. So guess where he gets to live? In the middle. So put him in the middle. S. Okay, our next letter is Tommy the Turtle. Do you see Tommy the Turtle? And here's Tommy the Turtle down here. Notice that he points to the left and the right, so he gets to live in the middle. Tommy the Turtle gets to live in the middle. Notice that our Slimy the Snake and Tommy the Turtle like to go to the red reptile to read. Well, they like to go there, but remember, they both live in the middle. They dance with the mountain monsters. Next is our sound and this is our This is our up guy. Do you notice that he's round at the bottom? Sound is And he's super important because he married the queen. So when he is away from the queen, one of his sounds is that he makes. Notice that he's round at the bottom. So I'm going to bring him out. What she turned him into, the queen. She turned him into the schwa. Here his wings, schwa. So he's called the schwa sometimes. And the up guy. So, do you see? She gave him wings and she gave him eyes. So, he's pretty powerful. He rules all the red letters in the land. But when he married the queen, he lost his power. And guess what? When you say his sound when he's with the when he's with the queen, you don't hear him. You only hear the queen. Kwa. So he lost his power when he married the queen. But because he lost his power, she gave him superpowers. We'll learn more about the schwa. The sound is v, 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 and that's our bird. Do you see our bird has one beak? It's one bird. And because his lines are all over the place, he gets to dance in the middle. And let's see if we can find him. There he is. There's the one beak. Now he gets to live in the middle because his lines are all over the place. The next sound is wah, 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 and that's two birds. Do you see two birds that came together, two beaks? And we call this our watch out letter. Because the lines are all over the place, guess where he gets to live? Gets to live in the middle. Wah. We call this the watch out letter because our next letter we say watch out for their Sharpie scissors. Kss, kss, kss. Do you see? It's Sharpie scissors. So let's find it down here. Do you see it? There it is. Whoa, that's not it, but it does look like it. This one looks like it, but it's missing a leg. This is our Sharpie scissors. Now, I want to show you the two letters that make up the sound. So it's our king and our snake. So watch. K-s. Blend it. K-s, k-s, k-s. That makes the Sharpie scissors sound. The king and the snake. K-s, k-s. So just remember that because those are tricky sounds. So because this letter's all over the place, it gets to dance in the middle. With this sound here, can you put your fingers together and make the Sharpie scissors and make a move? Kss, 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 and you can say that sound. Next comes yak got a haircut, yeah, yeah, yeah. Notice our yak is getting a haircut from the pair of scissors. And the yak does look like the scissors, but the yak is missing a leg or it's missing some hair. So just remember, the yak got a haircut, yeah, yeah, yeah. And because he's all over the place, he lives in the middle by the Sharpie scissors. Next comes Z, Z, Z. That letter's making me sleepy. That's our sleepy letter. Do you see? It's the last letter of the alphabet. And it has the number 7 in it. And it has a bed. So we say, it's 7 o'clock. Time to get to bed and dream about our sounds. Z, z, z. Get it? There's a 7 o'clock and the bed. So that is all over the place. So it gets to live in the middle. Z, z, z. Well, me hearties, you just learned all 26 letters of the alphabet. You sorted them into directional columns. You learned we have tongue letters, we have letters that dance in the middle, and we have road letters. So now you can practice putting all your letters in the directional columns and saying the sounds. So it's 7 o'clock. It's time to get to bed and dream about our sounds. So we're shoving off. So thanks for watching Directional Learning, and we can't wait to teach you more.